Hey guys, what's up? It's Garrett. So, I know I haven't done a video in a while, and last semester at the end was super hectic. With finals and all, I really had time to do nothing, especially videos. So, I'm off for Christmas vacation now. I've got 3 weeks and I plan to get up a bunch of videos. I think the next one I'm going to do is on this PC I just built and stuff. But for today, we're going to be doing a iPhone 7 Plus review. Now, my buddy's the one who reviewed the phone. It's his phone. He picked it up in October after messing around with Apple trying to pre-order. His payment got declined, and so he got in and got the last one out of the store. So Dusty, he typed this review up for me, everything he thought, what he likes about it, what he doesn't, and he sent it to me to do the review. And so let's go ahead and jump right into the details.
Now, the iPhone 7 Plus comes packed with Apple's A10 Fusion chip at the heart of the device with a 1920 by 1080 Retina display. Now, this display is 25% brighter than the previous generation. I do have to say that Apple probably makes the best IPS display on the market. The A10 Fusion chip consists of 2 high-performance cores and 2 energy-efficient cores, effectively making it the first quad-core iPhone to come out of Apple. Now, Apple claims that when the phone is under load, it will automatically use the 2 high-performance cores in addition to the energy-efficient ones. Now, with that being said, Apple claims the 7 Plus gains a whole hour more of battery life than the 6S. And this is a huge deal when you consider that the 7 Plus is essentially the same design as the 6S. Now, in my personal experience, I can easily get 7 to 8 hours of screen on time each and every day. Most of the days I end up around 40 to 50%. Now, we'll have to see how the battery holds up. It's only been 2.5 months, but as everybody knows, about that year mark, the battery really starts to suck, and after that, it's a struggle. So hopefully this battery will hold out longer. Another huge feature of the iPhone was the addition of the second camera lens. This wasn't the first time we've seen dual lenses on a smartphone. However, it was Apple's first time, and they did a great job. Now, the lens is capable of shooting a 2x optical zoom, and this is really important in many situations where your standard camera lens just can't reach out there and get the picture that you may want. In my experience, I found that the iPhone 7 Plus camera is one of the best, if not the best, smartphone camera. This really depends on the consumer. It's usually a toss-up between a couple of flagship phones. Here in this picture, we have it with HDR on, and you can see that it captures the foreground perfectly while preserving the background. Now, portrait mode was touted heavily at the keynote, but not originally available at launch. When the feature came out in iOS 10.1, I was blown away. Essentially, the iPhone makes a depth map using both cameras and then provides an artificial bokeh effect around the subject as shown.
Alright, so let's discuss the elephant in the room. The removal of the headphone jack. So, the headphone jack is old and outdated, and there's better ports out there, for example USB Type-C, that provide better audio quality, but I don't think Apple went about this in the correct way. Now, had they removed their Lightning port and replaced it with USB Type-C, then they would make other companies feel compelled to change it also, because Google has already changed their phones this year, the Pixel and Pixel XL, along with last year the Nexus 6P and the Nexus 5X. If Apple would have changed that port and removed the headphone jack, well, then we would start moving towards a universal port that we could all use. More headphone companies would come out and make USB Type-C headphones that could be used with Android and Apple, but instead Apple kept their Lightning connector, so now you have to have either Lightning headphones or an adapter. Apple does provide you with earpods as well as with a 3.5mm adapter. Now, some people have been saying that, well, Apple had to do this, they had to get rid of the headphone jack as well as the home button because they had to make their phone water resistant, which yes, the iPhone is water resistant, but that's bullshit because Samsung was able to do it and they have a home button and a headphone jack. So to say that's the reason, no, I think it's that Apple wants to move away from the headphone jack, but they didn't do it in the correct way. One of my favorite things about the new iPhone is that the new earpiece is also a speaker.
So now the iPhone 7 has stereo surround. I think that's a great move on Apple's part. I've used phones that have front-facing speakers, and I absolutely love them. So this stereo surround is so much better than a bottom-facing single-firing speaker. I wish more phones had stereo surround, front-facing speakers, or something. So good job on that, Apple. Overall, I really love this phone, and I'm so glad I have it. The removal of the headphone jack wasn't that big of a deal for me since I carry an adapter, but I can see where the problem lies. Steve Jobs once said that people shouldn't adapt to technology, technology should adapt to people. This is exactly what is wrong with this removal. People now have to jump through so many hoops just to keep up with the functionality of the last iPhone. Away from this though, this is really the only issue. I really love this phone so much. The camera's great, the battery life is fantastic, iOS runs so well and smooth. All in all, this phone still reigns king today in terms of Geekbench scores, and it really shows in day-to-day use. So if you're looking at getting the new iPhone 7, I would highly recommend it if you're an iPhone person or you're just wanting to try it out. So we hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give us a thumbs up and subscribe, and we'll catch y'all in the next one.